Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope you guys are having a good day today. Today is not meant to be negative whatsoever. I'm really just wanting to kind of ask this question and kind of speculate on exactly where this EA investor call is going to be going when it comes to 2042, when it comes to Battlefield 2042. For those that don't know, EA is having their investor call tomorrow. Now, this is, where investors kind of talk about exactly where EA is going when it comes to game franchises and stuff like that. Putting out their plans on what they plan on doing with certain things. And one of those things is Battlefield 2042. Where does 2042 sit with being one of those things that investors are wanting to make money on? Investors are wanting to put in money into EA with the benefit of making money off in their investment, and 2042 is one of those investments. However, when it looks to the way that 2042 has gone and recent history has proved when it comes to EA is not hesitant whatsoever, or not afraid to just kind of cut sling load and just get rid of a game just because it's not making money because of the negative attention that game got. They have no problem whatsoever of just ending support for that game, and makes me wonder, is Battlefield 2042 going to get the Anthem treatment that game got several years ago? So I want to talk about it, give you guys my impression about it, and just kind of speculate on exactly how this investor call is going to go tomorrow. So let's actually kind of talk about this. Let's talk about how really close together Anthem and how that game was perceived and how much hype and anticipation was built up for that game really does mirror 2042, and how that game was propped up, was being, hyped up and anticipated for, and just really fell flat in how it was able to deliver not really that great of a performance and not a great experience for players. So back in 2019 or 2018, I don't know what it is, maybe 2016, 2017, the hype was building up for Anthem. This is actually one game that a lot of hype EA was trying to build up. BioWare was trying to build up a lot of hype for Anthem, and this is one thing that a lot of people were anticipating. Now, the funny thing is for me is that I was not buying into this hype. I was not buying into this hype whatsoever. Now, I won't, don't get me wrong, the EA, the EA, but the E3 display, the what they actually showed in a gameplay session was really cool. Like, I will not lie to you, what BioWare was able to show in this E3 demo was amazing. And the funny thing is that so many people got bamboozled into that, and it's nothing new whatsoever. When it comes to E3, I mean, even like games like The Division were games that that actually showed like amazing gameplay, and then when the game came out, it was nothing like the gameplay teaser, the trailer that was delivered at E3. Now, with Anthem being built up as this one of those things where you have jetpacks, you're flying around, you're able to be like this Iron Man type thing, there's class-based systems and stuff like that. BioWare is known for making great RPG games, but for some reason, wherever the chips fell for Anthem just did not fall in the right spot. And there was this whole thing about BioWare's magic where they're able to just work on a game and at the last second make this most amazing game possible, and it just was not the case whatsoever for BioWare and making Anthem a great game, and how that game launched and what were the expectations of that game because of the trailer, because of E3 and the hype and the anticipation and stuff like that. It just did not deliver whatsoever when that game launched, and it was filled with multiple different bugs. But the progression system was really messed up, looting and all this stuff. And it fell flat. It fell flat, and it pissed a lot of people off. People were returning the game, bad reviews were coming out. And EA and BioWare were trying to fix the game. They had actually took time to fix the game and try to do anything. This is the craziest thing, and the reason why Battlefield 2042 does not have this thing, is really odd. But later on, a roadmap or some type of plan was actually pushed out to where players have something to look forward to. They actually have a plan of what they're going to be pushing out to players to say, hey, you know what? Yes, the game fell flat. Yes, the game was terrible. However, we're going to be trying to build this thing up. Here's what we plan on doing. Well, even with this plan and how this game, how they had this roadmap set up for Anthem, even fell flat because it was that first impression of Anthem where you had this anticipation, you had this hype, you had all this stuff built up because of what you were showing in the trailer that was not true. And when people got that first impression in playing the video game, it turned a lot of people off. A lot of people were expecting something different that was being shown to them in E3 and other trailers and stuff like that. So it was that expectations and that first impression that completely just demolished the reputation of Anthem and how that game was going to be portrayed and played out through it. And the funny thing is that after that first impression, people were just completely turned away. And not only that, not only were players that bought the game turned away, but players that bought the game, that did not buy the game, were turned away by those that did, and reviews and all this stuff that came out of Anthem just completely demolished the game. And any type of being able to try to fix the game from BioWare and EA just fell completely flat because they just could not rebuild that first impression, that first that first thing that people thought about when it came to Anthem. They just were not able to recapture that magic and being able to build that game up. So EA saw how much money they were trying to put into it, saw that how much money they were going to be putting into it to try to rebuild its image, and saw, you know what, we're going to be putting in this much money, this is how much money we're going to be getting in return. You know what, we're just going to end Anthem. And pretty much, I don't know if the Anthem servers are still up. I imagine they still are, but it's funny to know that the Anthem is pretty much a dead game. The EA and BioWare completely cut ties with Anthem, and that game just does not get any support whatsoever. Now, fast forward to Battlefield 2042 and the hype that this game was getting built up. Going off the heels of Battlefield 5, which had a rocky start, even though they were able to build up Battlefield 5 to be a great game before they ended support, a lot of hype was getting built up for 2042. The gameplay trailer was looking nice. There was a little bit of hesitation, a little bit of wondering, well, why in the world were we missing out on different, gameplay trailers and stuff like that? We're getting the cinematic stuff. We're not getting the gameplay. Well, then the beta comes out, and the beta leaves a bad impression, and a lot of people, leaves a bad taste in people's mouth, and then we get the excuse of, oh, you know what, it's an old beta, we're going to be fixed by the game's launch. Well, just like Anthem, when it comes to that first impression for Battlefield 2042, it set a lot of people off, including myself, of just not liking the gaming experience whatsoever. Now, with the way that Battlefield 2042 is going and how many different updates they need to do in order to just get the base game fixed of all the different bugs, we have not even gotten into anything that they plan on adding. Now, February, they plan on adding a legacy feature of a scoreboard, which, again, I don't know where in the world EA or DICE or whoever made the decision of getting rid of a normal scoreboard and whatnot. It's just not one of those things that players are, that's not the driving factor. For the amount of people that have left 2042 when that game launched up until now, I imagine when you tell people, hey, we're adding in a legacy scoreboard, is not the driving factor to get players back in. I imagine the best thing to do is like, hey, why are you playing Battlefield 5? Hey, why are you playing Battlefield 1, 4, whatnot? What is the driving factor for you playing those old games and not the new games? I imagine that would be the best question to ask for, to get players, brought back into the fray and brought back to the game. Well, supposedly the next update is not until March. That is still a long, long time away. It's over a month away from now. Or the funny thing is actually just thinking about it, there's no planned date. There's no dates. It's just March. That's it. It's just March right now. But the funny thing is as well is that there's no roadmap. There's no roadmap whatsoever of exactly what type of content we're going to be getting. Looking back at other franchises, even Call of Duty does have a roadmap of what they're going to be releasing in each season. We haven't even gotten to the first season of Battlefield 2042. Now with this investor call coming up tomorrow, what is going to be the actions that EA and DICE can take in order to fix this franchise, fix at least just 2042, and make players come back to the game and buy it to where investors want to put more money into it? That's the big driving factor. EA has to convince investors that, yes, 2042, it's going to be a good game to invest in. Battlefield franchise, our company, EA, DICE, and stuff like that, are going to be good companies to invest your money in. That's what EA is trying to do. 2042, if they look at it like the same way they look at Anthem, that they're going to be putting so much money into 2042 and still not make that money back, I do imagine that they're going to do the exact same thing to Anthem. If they're not going to be making their money back that they're putting into the game, there's no way in the world they're going to be putting in any support whatsoever, and Anthem is going to be suffering this, Battlefield 2042 is going to suffer the same fate that Anthem did. Now, one thing that a lot of people have been bringing up is with Vince Zampella being brought into as the head of DICE and whatnot, or at least the Battlefield franchise and stuff, and then wanting to create a hero shooter. This is not anything that players are wanting. EA, or people that play the Battlefield games, players that have been dedicated to the Battlefield franchise, have been playing Battlefield games for years and years and years, this is nothing that they're wanting. They're wanting a good Battlefield experience, just like older games, just better things. Anything that players liked in older games be brought back into, or be brought into this new game. That's what players are wanting. But for some reason, whoever's making the decisions at EA and DICE apparently just don't want to do that and call them legacy features and keep them out of the game. Honestly, if it was me, I would be looking at this situation going, if we were wanting to try to bring players back in and try to make money on this game, you gotta bring in features, you gotta bring in things that would actually bring players back, not just a scoreboard. Bringing in features, infantry maps, infantry combat, stuff like that. The funny thing is thinking back in Battlefield 5, a lot of players saying, man, the infantry combat in this game is amazing, and I think that's what players want, but are not getting it out of this newest installment. So, looking at this right now, I don't know how to look at it when it comes to this EA investor call tomorrow. Maybe EA has a plan, but again, at least when it comes to EA and DICE, we are not told what that plan is. There's nothing to look forward to as a 2042 player. If you are still playing this game and wanting to continue to play it and enjoy it and love it and looking forward to the future content, you have no idea what you're looking forward to. And that's the sad thing about where this game is going to go and how the possibility could be that this could be the next Anthem. So anyway, guys, looking at this and kind of seeing where it could possibly go, mirroring Anthem, Battlefield 2042 could go down that route. What will the investors, say during this meeting tomorrow? No idea, but it could be a possibility that 2042 suffers the same exact fate that Anthem does. But then again, I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I want to succeed, but man, oh man, a lot of changes need to come. So anyway, let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about the investor call tomorrow? Or is this something that you're going to be anticipating and listening to? Let me know in the comments below. And also too, when it comes to Anthem, do you think 2042 is going to be suffering the exact same fate that game suffered? So let me know in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please have a great rest of the day. Look forward to talking to you guys all next time.